Hey guys, Tim PK here, back with the captain.
The captain.
What you do today, buddy?
So I made top 8 at our local tournament. I only lost one round to Spirals because Kalen's a huge sack. Nah, I love him to bits. Nah, I got him down to one card in hand, which was Assault, and he Magician Souls, and he pitched the Assault to draw one. He drew the Quick Fix, so it's pretty good. It's pretty high skill level. That's okay. But I beat everything else except for zombies in Top Cut because the man is the nuts. He's just so good. Just rivalry anti-spell just all the time.
Rivalry anti-spell top unit zombie 3 times.
We were playing Sky Striker strategy. Deck's like, everybody thinks this deck is dead. Everybody I spoke to was like, why are you playing this deck? Isn't this deck dead? Because, there's just no engage anymore. But apparently not. Apparently we did pretty well. It's just sort of just like, it's kind of just like one link control, if you think about it that way.
Imagine Mr. I didn't think I'd top today is now saying the deck isn't dead.
Well, I really didn't think I would because I was scraping to get cards the last minute. Because it was just very hard to find, and it's very impossible to find this card. Nobody has this card apparently. I got one, but we have 2 now, but I only had 1 for the tournament. But yeah.
Alright, let's get into the profile, shall we?
No worries. So we play this monster because it's the nuts, and I'm pretty sure until this card is not at 3 anymore, we will always play 3 in this deck. And then one of the new cards. So this card's pretty cool actually.
I'm trying to get this. There we go.
Yeah, Sky Striker Ace Rose. So for everybody who doesn't know what it does is if you summon a Sky Striker Ace monster, so including Link, if any Link, you can special summon it from your hand. And then if your opponent's monster in the extra monster zone leaves the field by battle or by card effect, or by your card effect, you can special summon it from the graveyard. And then when you do special summon it from the graveyard, it non-target negates a monster on the field.
That's pretty busted.
So it's pretty good. Optimally I'd play 2, just because it's it's just more free specials and it's just more monsters, because obviously we have less starters now with no engage. But being able to negate stuff is cool. Being able to float is cool. I drew it a couple times without Ray, which is obviously not very good if you have to start off with this card. But as long as you can stick a Hayate, it doesn't really matter. And then
yeah, because I gotta go Hayate swing and then send Rays.
Yeah, you can if you have Ray, it's the nuts because you can Ray swing Hayate, send this card, and then at any stage you can just at any stage pretty much after that you can just kill them. It's just really whack. So but even if you just open this card, it's good as a jump blocker as well. So if you open this and Ray, you can just Ray for Shiz, leave the Shiz on board, and when they attack the Shiz, you bring the Ray out of the graveyard and then you can special summon this. So it's kind of cool. I like this card. Yeah, so I think two's fine, but I only had 1 for the tournament. Then for hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Crow. So this card's really good at the moment because Spiral is big popular. So yeah, I don't know. You just want to Crow their master plan if that comes down to it. Ash is
Did you get called about how I'm pretty sure this one's not legal?
It is legal.
It is.
It is legal. So yeah, because obviously it's art that extends beyond the boundaries. So I probably wouldn't get away with it at a YCS maybe, but at a locals level it is, because as long as it doesn't change the weight of the card and you can't tell what the card is in difference from any other card in your deck, then it's legal. I checked this with reputable judges. So. And then I played 3 Meister as well in the main deck. So we don't want to get macked on by Spiral, so we want all cards that don't target, basically. And all these cards are really good. I verse lots of trap decks, and Meister's really good. I verse Geist, and I Meistered Sangan. I verse Striker Draco round 1, and I DD Crowed the first Ray, and then I Meistered the next 2, and then Shark Cannon them both, so we had no Rays. This was all in game 1. It was 35-minute game 1 or something. So Meister's pretty good. I like Meister a lot. And it's a level 4. It's 1700. So there's that.
That's relevant.
It is, because you can attack things with it. Not just that, but it being level 4 is relevant too, because we're playing, obviously, the neat win con in this deck is Utopia Double, so. Alright, so just that for monsters. I don't know, it's 13.
Still look like it.
Yeah, but...
9 hand traps, 4 monsters? Yeah, it's 13. Good math.
Basically, so for spells, everything else in the deck is a spell. So 3 field spell, we need more starters, so we max on this. Funnily enough, when we were playing 3 before when we had engages, I would draw multiples of this card all the time. I did not draw multiples of this once.
Yeah, you can't see this card now, can we?
Just not at all. I played 3 Shark Cannon. This card sucks. I would not play 3 of this future. Maybe 1 or 2. This card sucks so bad.
Which is weird because it's in-engine DD Crow.
Yeah, which it's good, but it's we're opting second. So it doesn't really realistically it doesn't do anything. Like I just thought it'd be cool that like if you can get enough spells to the graveyard, you can like you can use this against like Spiral or other decks to like steal Link 2s out of the graveyard and like make Ningirsu to force Sleeper. So like I thought it'd be okay, but it just wasn't nearly relevant enough like at all. So it'll probably go to like 1 or 2 in future. And, like if we like choose, like I might put others in the side deck so that if we like choose to opt first, we can play multiples. So like the best part of the deck is like 2 of these and 2 of these. So this card should be at 3. This card is insane. You just crack every board like under the sun with this card. Like I had so many people not expect multiple burners when I played today. So like you sort of just play like afterburners control because like the cool thing is like why you want to play this multiple of this card when you go second is because like you can burners their card in the extra monster zone and then that triggers Rose, so you can like special Rose out of your hand. So then it's like free specials and free level 4s.
Then we double them.
Yeah, and then you Utopia double them. So that's like the idea. So this should be at 3 and this should be at 1. Jamming Wave sucks. Afterburners is the nuts. But I only owned 2, so we played 2. But yeah, Afterburners is insane. You just like play 3 of that card just very, very easily. For your 1-ups, you just play these.
We were just taking a moment to point out, like, how was your feelings on Afterburner's last format?
So like I like went back and forth and like I didn't want to play Afterburners like at all because I played Striker Orcus and I refused to play Afterburners because I hated it. But I eventually like conceded to playing it because like I realized Appaloosa was a card, and you just like need cards that out that card just off the board straight away. But when I played Pure Striker last format, I cut Afterburners from my deck completely because it was useless and I was opting first and I was disgusted at opening this card. But like if we're opting second in this, so like drawing multiples is fine. But yeah, going from like playing 0 to playing 3 is like, shut up.
Alright, back to Poofa.
Yeah, so just these 1-ups. Like Eagle Boost is like okay. I went first like 2 times today. And both times I set up booster for 3 turn 1. So like
You just don't die and then you double them next turn.
so you just don't die and then you double them the next turn. You know, I'm saying it's really funny that we talk about like Utopia Double as a win condition, but I Utopia Doubled exactly 0 times, which is like really funny, I guess, considering I still made top cut, but whatever. But yeah, this card's super necessary. Roll's insane. You just like play multi-roll control.
Well, I
eventually.
mean, these are all at 3. These were all at 3 at one time. They are no longer at 3.
Well, like these cards are at 1 for a reason. This card is like only played at 1 because it's like hyper searchable and you don't want to draw it. It just doesn't really do anything. But yeah.
What do you mean? I want to have this card so my Kigari doesn't get compulsed.
Like maybe in future we can like only play 1 Shark Cannon like in the main deck and like play the 3 burners, and then when we like post side we play like
Multiple cannons.
like 2 more cannons and like maybe 1 cannon and 2 more booster or something for when you go first. Just because like booster when you go first is really good because it just like guarantees you that you don't die, which is. Like,
I feel like seeing booster and multiples going first would be absolutely horrible.
I'm not really because like as long as you see it like a link, it doesn't matter because like you're in the game. So like as long as you're in the game for multiple turns, like it's okay. You just like 1500 them twice and then you Utopia double them or something like that. All right, that's all the striker cards. I don't know how many it is.
We're not counting that many.
Yeah,
we're not that
too much
good.
of it. For other spells, we have 3 MST because this card is insane. I MST'd a light stage today on activation. Felt pretty good.
Can you stop being mean to Clutch, please?
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, so like MST is really good because like obviously like so you're playing less engages, so you have no engage. So like your consistency is a bit low. So like if you like forced to go first or like you don't have like a lot of cards at the moment, you can like area 0 something. If you whiff and don't get a link, you can just like MSC to area 0, and then like if you sent a spell off the first area 0, and if you didn't, that's like 2 to 3 spells turn 1 plus array. So like being out, you can then like Hayate for Widowmaker and do like cool stuff with that. So like and it like doubles as backer removal in game 1. So like it's a consistency card and backer removal. It's just like super universal. I think it's pretty good. Like. Funnily enough, like, against Clutch was the only time I drew it, and he was playing Tricksters, and I versed 3 other... I versed Geist and Guru, and drew MST 0 times against both of them. It's thoroughly upsetting. Actually, no, I MST Gozen against Chen. Game 1, but then I didn't draw it after that. I drew no MSTs, no twins in my Geist matchup. It was thoroughly upsetting. Alright. Two mind controls. We're blinding second, so you play two mind control. I did not draw this card like at all. It was annoying. I drew it once against Kalen when he made the nut board, and I just didn't do enough because the rest of my hand was really weak.
Okay, so what cards did you draw today?
I don't know. Like, not at all. Just not many cards. Like, I don't know. Like, I play Mystic Mine in this deck as well, and then I played a 35-minute game one with the Striker Draco player, and I drew 0 of these.
What are you?
I don't know.
Just what are you? Like, you play Skywalker to like all last one, you can never draw engage.
Oh yeah, no, we mathematically proved in Skyscraper August that I could not draw engage like at all. I sat there and did like 4 test hands in a row. Each of them I drew between 8 and 12 cards, like turn 1, and I just wouldn't get there. I could never draw an engage. It was thoroughly upsetting.
It was quite funny, but like...
Oh, it was hilarious for everybody except me.
No, that's why it was funny.
But yeah, so we played Mystic Mine, because like, you just mine people until you can double or nothing them. You know, but I don't know. I didn't see this guy for like my first 3 rounds. So
what rarity? Why is it this rarity?
Somebody lent this card to me, so it's ultra. I drew it twice, but it's fine. I drew it game 1 of round 1, and I'm like, here we go. This is gonna be my day. But yeah. So like, it's just like 10k. It's a good play. Like, I figure with more rows in the deck, it'll probably come up more often, but like, I just never did it like at all today. But I guess I didn't verse like a lot of decks it's really good against, so we'll see. The only other ones are spells I played are like Foolish Burial, Rhoda, Terraforming, and Upstart. Played Foolish Burial because it's like, I couldn't find the second rose in time. There's supposed to be a second one in this deck, and I didn't know what to put in, so I just put in a Foolish Burial because this is like, if you see this first, this is rose, and like, funnily enough, I versed in my Striker Draco matchup. I topped this after he cannoned my Ray, and I had nowhere to plow through, so I just like Foolish Burialed another Ray, and I was just back in the game because like my link could float then. So this guy's kind of cool, but essentially it's just a second rose. This would not be here if I had the next rose, but these are all fairly standard, and that's it. 40 cards.
Before we go on, a lot of the striker lists so far have been playing like Darkest Diablos. How do you feel about this card?
This card's garbage. No, it's like, it doesn't like, it's okay, but like, it's more cards that you just like have to draw, and we don't have a lot of draw power in this deck anymore. Like, I have like a kind of whack build in mind with this deck where you just play like, I play like 3 Reaper in the main deck, and then you play the 3 Meister and then the 3 Crow, and then you play triple Allure Darkness in the main deck. So like, I reckon if you played Darkest Diablos in that version, it'd be pretty good, but like, in this version, it's just like, I don't know. Like, 3k that can't be targeted is not exactly a big deal when like, when there's like Sword in the format, it doesn't do anything on the board, and then like, you looping 1 card out of your opponent's hand when like Spiral can 2-card combo you into the ground, it doesn't really matter. So like, I don't know, it's not a spell card, and it's not a level 4, so why play it?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, so extra deck?
Yeah, extra, 3 category feels good.
3?
So this is like the heart and soul of the deck. This is like the only reason you can do like stuff. You just Kaguri every turn and like you just get free cards for no reason.
I swear to God, one day I'll do something about this class.
You know?
Were you playing the quick spell?
No, I didn't play base. Didn't need to. You have 3 Kaguri, why play base? You know? I have 10 striker links without base. You just don't like, optimally I'd like to play base, but I'm like blinding second, I just don't want to draw base like at all. Like base is like okay, like kinda cool if you can like get the 3 spells in graveyard and then attack 2 cards and draw 2, but like I feel like it's not very good against combo decks, and against like the trap decks you can outpace them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's like not super relevant. But yeah. Hayate for Kag is like, you don't need to engage when you can just do this every turn and search whatever you need, and then like Shiz get the extra search. So like with your like normal engine now, you're like searching 2 cards every turn, so like you still get further ahead than your opponent, because they're like if you can stop them from comboing, they're drawing 1 card every turn, and you're essentially drawing 1 card per turn and then 2 cards for your combo. So like you're going +3 every turn, whereas they're only going like +1 or 2 every turn. So yeah, that's like the idea, pretty much. You just sort of stun them or kill them, because we're blinding second, obviously. But like, if you end up grinding with them, that's what you're trying to do. This should be 3 green, but I only could fit 2, because I'm stupid.
Yeah,
I decided to play 2 Kana, and I summoned Kana. I summoned 1 Kana all the time, and never summoned the second one.
I was gonna say, 'cause like we actually had this discussion, because at one point you were really conflicted. You wanted to play 3 of this and like 2 of this, and I'll just tell you to cut this card. You wouldn't listen to me.
Well, no, it wasn't like that. It's like there was a reason I wanted to play 2. It's like if you verse spirals, and you can't Utopia Double them, you can't kill them, but you can like crack into their negates. Like you need to play 2 Kinda because you can Kinda them on your turn for a card, so they can't attack you. And then when they push into you on the next turn, you can Kinda them again, so you just never die. So like if you Kinda 1 card and then when they try and sword you or something on the next turn, you Kinda the sword or Kinda whatever's big, you don't die. So that was like the play. So that you need 2 Kindas for, but realistically, I don't know. If you had to summon 2 Kindas because they're putting that much pressure on you, you're probably losing anyway because like there's no like feasible 1 card draw in the deck that can put you back in the game. So like the theory is probably not sound, but 3 green is definitely mandatory. So I'll probably go to 1 Kinda or 0 Kinda and just play 3 Hayate. Kinda's like okay, I guess.
Life points in time.
Yeah, but we're not trying to do that. You know, I'm not trying to cheese people. I like to go to game 3s with like 20 minutes on the clock. That's what I'm about. You know, that's why we're trying to Utopia Double people turn 1. You know, we want lots of time for game 3 so we can have good fun. I didn't go to time at all today. No, I went to time once, round 1, but he was playing striker. That happens. I can't help that. If you're playing striker card like a striker mirror, then it's just gonna happen. So these are the only other links I played. So Phoenix Ningetsu Sword. I never made Sword. I don't need to play this card, realistically. But it's here, I guess. If you're doing like Shark Cannon shenanigans, you can like kill people with this. This is better than Unicorn because it threatens Sleeper. And like it's a non-target, so your opponent has to answer it. Phoenix is like super generic. And then just the Utopia and Utopia Double that I summoned 0 times.
Nice to see you went through a lot of effort to get these cards and not play them.
Yeah, we like I asked like 10 people to borrow these because I don't have the engine, and then finally one of the homies came through, and then like
Never played it.
never summoned it. Okay, my side deck was 3 Gamma and a Driver.
It wouldn't be a Josh deck profile without Gamma and...
It wouldn't be a Sky Striker deck profile done by me if I wasn't playing Gamma. This is my favorite card in like Sky Strikers because it's the easiest to manipulate to be like usable basically. Like I drew this once today against Trickstar, so against Clutch, and like I bodied him hella hard. I felt really bad actually. So he went first, opened IP, Candina, and 2 cards in hand and a set card. So I'm like, cool, he has Reincarnate Droll, he just 100% does. And I opened his Driver as well, but it just didn't matter because I opened Gamma and Driver. So I opened Foolish Burial, so a Foolish Burial for Rose, and then normal summon Ray. And I go attempt to enter battle. So he IPs into Unicorn for no effect because there's no point targeting Ray. I just tag out. So I'm like, cool. Still in main phase. Activate Terraforming. Search area 0, and he goes activate Reincarnation. And I'm like, cool. I'm turn player, so I get to opt to use a quick effect next. Tribute Ray for effect. And he goes, okay, no worries. Droll. Okay. Gamma Droll. Summon the Driver. So I banished, all I banished was area 0 and drew a blank. I can't remember what it was. I summoned the Hayate, and then on the summon of Hayate, the Rose triggers to special summon as well, which he used his last card in end, and we'll just Diddy Crow that. So then I just attacked over the Unicorn with Driver, and he had 0 cards left. So this is just my favorite card. It's one of my favorite cards in Sky Striker. It's just very easy to manipulate. I borrowed the other 2 because I couldn't find mine. So 3 Lava Golem.
You couldn't find it. You literally gave me one last night.
Well, look, I never said I was intelligent. Okay, I'm playing Sky Striker for fuck's sake.
Does bring up a good point.
So Lava Golem is only if you verse Spiral basically. You can just Lava Golem Sleeper and Trigate or something like that, and then Utopia Double them because it's a special summon. You can just pop your own field spell, special Ray, special Rose, and just
double
them.
I ordered the double, and they gave me the double.
Even so, you could being able to Lava Golem the Sleeper, so it's off the board, and then Lava Golem the Trigate or the Appaloosa. Oh, you don't care about Appaloosa, so you just hit the Trigate, and then you can just burn as the Appaloosa, and then they just have no cards for 2 cards for the whole board. So Lava Golem's pretty cool. 3 Twin, pretty obvious. I don't know, it's good against everything, I guess. 3, there can be only 1. I sided this in exactly 0 times. I realized that it was god awful against Spiral, and Spiral was the only combo deck in the room except for Heroes, and I did verse Heroes. So My last card is my favorite card of all time. Full House.
The next staple card in a Josh Holt's deck profile.
Pretty much. So like, I will probably actually side deck this card this format because the card's actually very, very sick. So like, if you don't know what it does, it like pops 2 face-ups and then 3 sets like on the board. So it's literally a heavy storm. So like, it's very easy to make this card live, especially in this deck, considering half the time you have like area 0 on the board, multi-roll on the board if you're grinding back and forth, and then like you can just like flip cards as well to make this live. So like, you know, against Geist, you can just pop 5 back row. If they have like protocol spoofing face up and they go spoofing effect, you flip this, you pop 5. It's just nuts. I put it in once today and I didn't draw it, but at the same time, I would still play this card. This card's it's one of my favorite cards, just like of all time. My favorite thing I've ever done was like, my opponent set 3 against me. This was like years ago, but he very loudly stated, "Oh wait, Heavy Storm's not in this format. I don't have to worry." And then he set 3 back row. And then his end phase, I flipped 2 Reckless Greed and then Full House for my 2 Reckless Greed and his 3 back row and Heavy Stormed him. It was hilarious. So yeah, that's my deck.
Alright, any final words before we head off?
So like I reckon this deck could actually like be pretty good, surprisingly enough, with no engage. But my list is very, very garbage. Because it was just sort of thrown together last minute. But I think the theory for what it should be doing is pretty sound. So if you can just like 1 to 2 hand trap them, like going forward, and then just like Utopia Double what's left with your engine, like it's pretty sound, like pretty foolproof. I think, like getting 3 spells in graveyard is like no longer the be all end all of this deck, so it's not super necessary. That's why I wasn't playing like any Foolish Burial Goods or anything like that, because like these cards are hard once per turn and we're opting second. But yeah, like it could be good going forward. I don't think it's dead. I just think people need to look into it a bit more. You know, I guess like.
So would you be playing this in the future?
I'll probably play this for like the next while, just because like I don't have another deck. Funnily enough, I'm trying to like throw together Ancient Warriors from the new set, but it's gonna be a bit difficult. So I'll probably play this for a while, but I reckon it could be pretty good. We'll find out. We'll see how the format develops. You're gonna have like more concrete outs to Spiral. Like I reckon Sphere mode is like strictly better than Lava Golem, but I don't have Sphere modes, so.
Fair enough.
No worries.
Alrighty then. Thanks for the thing, Josh. We'll hope to see you in the future.